Hello everyone and welcome back to another Class 700 video. Join us on a bit of a test, I suppose. I'm going to be testing a scenario I've just made, which is based off of 9 Juliet 56, so a Horsham to Peterborough service. Obviously on the front it does say East Croydon, but the scenario plan is a little bit limited, and I suppose that is actually in-game the final destination. But big thanks to Dovetail Games for giving us a key to show it off. Yeah, I think there's about 16 AI trains in this scenario, but I just completely ran out of room to add more in because there's not really many spawn points, so ran out of spawn points. And this will be on the Creators Club as well if this works. There you go. And let me get up real-time trains to see what time we were due out of here. Let's see. What time were we due out of here? It would be helpful if I was on the right day and at the right time as well. Let's quickly do that. So 9J56 this is, 9J56, which is quite lucky when doing this scenario because there is actually, I think, a slightly reduced timetable at the moment. Let's do it, not 9J54, 9J56. Oh, where are you? 9J56. 9J54, not that one. Where's 9J56 on here? What's going on? I've done the wrong one. I think it was 42 out of here. Bloody thingy-majiggy. I believe. Oh no, I found it. So Three Bridges, 43 were due out of here. So we've got a few more seconds. And then we'll get the door shut. But we'll be calling it Gatwick Airport, Horley, Redhill, Merstham, Coulston South, and East Croydon. So if you are playing this scenario, just know to stop at those stations. As I said, scenario plan is a little bit limited, so you can't actually do that. I think there's only one spawn point which allows that, and I think that's Gatwick Airport, which is the next station up. If I had started it there, it would then allow me to tick those stations. Right, let's get the doors shut. Cool, and let's get going. So this service would be bound for Peterborough. So it would be cool if you could change the PIS, but you can't. Feels weird coming out of platform 1 here. I don't know if there's actually any services in service mode would do that. Or do they? Possibly. Out we go though, onto the up slow. With our 700-0, which, well, it's not common to see them on on 9 Juliet services, but a couple recently. I remember there was twice in one day that both my 9 Juliet services were a -0. It was a really weird day, bizarre day. But yeah, you rarely see a -0 on 9 Juliets. 99% of the time it's the -1. There's a one Charlie or 1 Juliet service. And I think that was the 9 Romeo service, that one. That one terminates at Three Bridges. Which actually is commonly in RL. Well, I think all the time it's an RLU. As it's a really slow stopper service all the way to Bedford. But how's everyone getting along with the 700? Are you enjoying it? Has it been a blast, or has it been a bit sort of meh? Yeah, though. I might have been actually adding a freight train there, sort of make the most of the slots, AI slots. There's usually a freight train there, here about this time. Might pop that in to make it a bit busier. Yeah, the tough thing about doing this one as opposed to the Cambridge Brighton one was there's just not enough spawn points. Going to where I then need the perfect trains to go. I mean, really, it was just East Croydon, Clapham and Victoria. That was it. And only about 3, maybe had one platform at each, which would then work. So yeah, it was a very limited for spawn points. So I think there are a couple, well, I think there's more than a couple of trains not within this. It's based off real AI on the 11th of July, or real trains on the 11th of July. 11th of July on the day I'm recording this. So I'll put in best I can. Obviously with the restrictions of the scenario planner. Which hopefully when we do get the updated scenario planner, hopefully it'll be maybe slightly more like the Train Sim Classic one. Example, we're coming into platform 1. Which again, they do quite a bit, I think, the 9J services. So that's correct. There goes a plane. This is Gatwick Airport. Looking quite quiet. Here we are. Oh, why's the marker key? It keeps popping up. Go away. Oh, we've got an S-car stop here. Okay, we'll go for that. Here we are. Cool. So it's Gatwick Airport. Another 700 coming in there. And I think soon enough there should be an Electrostar coming up. I think that's run fast up from Haywards Heath. So we should hopefully see that as well, or at least pass by us at some point. We'll draw out of Gatwick Airport at 49 past. We've got a couple of minutes here. Yeah, a couple of minutes of leeway. Lovely. Yeah, the 9 Juliet services I think are the longest Thameslink services, mileage way and mileage wise and possibly time wise as well. Because now you don't have the little Hampton to Bedford service. RIP, unfortunately. Yeah, I think Horsham to Peterborough, which is 2 hours, 45 minutes. It's long. A long old way it goes. I mean, to put into sort of context, Peterborough is above Birmingham, sort of, you know, if you're going across. So they go quite a way up. Then Horsham is, I suppose, the equivalent of probably going down to Burgess Hill from Three Bridges, but across. Off that one goes. We've got about 20 seconds, and then we are off. Come on, we'll close them at 20 seconds to 49. Ready. Let's actually press the button. 3, 2, 1, now. And it'll be Horley next. And do remember to stop at Horley, as the game won't tell you to, but you need to anyway. There we go. Yes, we've got Horley, Redhill, Merstham, Coulston South, and East Croydon. And then there'll be another driver change. There probably would have been one at Three Bridges. It's all change for the drivers on here. Get a little screenshot there. You might see that as the thumbnail. And then Horley is just here. It's not, as soon as you leave Gatwick Airport, it's like, we are now approaching Horley. And it's like, oh, already? And it's quite a, it's a weird station, Horley. Well, it's not a weird station, but it's quite a mysterious station. There's always like, I don't know, it's just whenever you go past it, it's got all the blue lights on the platforms. It's got quite a sort of corroded, sort of gloomy look to it underneath the bridge and underneath the road bridge. I don't know. It's a bit of it's an odd one. It's a cool station to watch. Yeah, cool station to watch trains at. Yeah, it's just a bit gloomy underneath the bridge. There's always like tape up everywhere, and it's all flapping around. The game doesn't quite capture that. It makes Horley look like a really nice station. I suppose we'll just go to the end. Well, this is Horley. This is Horley, mind the gap. And we're due at Horley at 51, which is 51. Well, now we're due in here at 51 and due out 51.
If you feel faint, seek help at the next station.
So we'll get the door shut about now.
As this may delay help reaching you.
Right, let's go. It is Redhill next, which is where we should see a 2 Victor service. Which is, well, I actually had to set it since it started at Reigate and then went to Redhill. But it would be a Redhill to Reading service. But it'd be a bit weird if I had set it at Redhill, because then I'd have to set the destination at somewhere like Merstham. So you would see that on the front, which would be a bit weird. And let's get out of there. Up to 90, so I'll be skipping out Salfords and Ellswood. I always forget that 9 Juliet services don't stop at Ellswood. It's like, maybe they used to or something. But, yeah, they don't stop at Ellswood. I think Ellswood is the 9 Romeo services, which are the slow Three Bridges Bedford ones. I'm not too bad on my Thameslink head codage, but then that it is my local operator. So another train on the down fast there. We've got another 700, probably going towards Brighton, I'd imagine. I'll be interested to see if this actually brings us across at Stoats Nest Junction. I mean, it should, because I think we were arriving into East Croydon on platform 1. Unfortunately, platform 2 was not an option, as it would be. So yeah, I suppose hopefully it will be bringing us across Stoats Nest Junction, which is just before Purley. But we'll see. Are we racing another train? No. Although we should soon. We should get a train passing by relatively soon. Well, we should do. I don't know if we will, because we're quite far ahead already. Let's have a look. Now, there is one there. I doubt we're going to see that, though. It probably got long gone. But I think there was a service up from Littlehampton and one up from Orr. So they'll both be flying past. Well, should be flying past. So we might not get to see them, unfortunately. Well, that one's getting close. I think it is catching up. But then after Ellswood, we then split off, so we might not see it, sadly. Although the 700s do struggle on here. 82 is not really getting up very quickly. And we've got to slow down anyway for Ellswood. I think it's 75. Certainly comes down. So we shall pop that down. As we come up to Ellswood, and then we say goodbye to the fast lines. Where's that 387? Oh, 377. Oh, it's still quite a way behind. Maybe I'll make it so it skips out Gatwick, just so then you can see it as a player whizzing by. It just all makes that difference. because otherwise you just won't see it. There's a 75. As we come up to Redhill. Nah, it's still back there. That's not gonna do it, unfortunately. If that stops at Gatwick, I'm gonna take that out, because you'll be past Gatwick by the time you see it. No, you'll be past Gatwick by the time it comes past you. There it is, back there. Right, coming into platform 2 at Redhill, which funnily was quite weird actually. The other day I was on a 9 Juliet service, and they routed us into platform 0, which I hadn't had before. Sort of coming right across. This is Redhill. Yeah, there's the 2 Victor service there, the 166. Should actually be a 165, but we're using the 166, alright. I think they did actually used to do. Well, I think the 166 used to run that, or would sometimes run it. At least when this timetable's set. Yeah, this is Redhill. And there's the noisy diesel. And it'll be Merstham next. That's our next stopping point. We're due out of Redhill at 17:59. So I've got about a minute here. And then we'll be off. So there should be another fast service, I think, but yeah, there's the next one there. On its way up. Give it another sort of 15 seconds, then we get the doors shut. And then we're out of here. But yeah, how's everyone finding the 700? Now it's been out, I think when you're seeing this video, a couple of days. How is it? Is it alright? Let's go. Leaving Redhill behind. Yeah, once we get past Coulston South, we're then nice and quick up to East Croydon. I wonder if we actually have to wait at near Coulston South to actually get across the main line. Quite often that does happen, especially when there's delays and delays. You sometimes have to wait there for a little a minute or so. Lovely, out we go. Goodbye Redhill. Goodbye 166. 165 wannabe. And let's continue. Yeah, I would love to see this in actual timetable mode though. Or service mode. Hopefully one day. I suppose, yeah, we only need a Brighton Mainline optimisation patch, and then maybe they'd be able to add the extra services in. I don't see it happening anytime soon, so don't be like, oh, it's probably going to be quite soon we get the Thameslink services. Still going to be a while off yet. But yeah, I'm sure Creators Club will be a good friend to find Thameslink services. And I'll leave a link for this scenario down below. So I wasn't originally going to make a 9 Juliet service. I'm recording this actually on release day. So I was sort of hoping there would already be a scenario on there, a 9 Juliet one. But, well, there wasn't. So I've ended up making one. Right, it's just round this corner, I think, into Merstham. I can still see a green on the up fast, so hopefully we'll see something quite soon. I think that's a 9 Juliet service there. Because when I originally made this scenario, I was sort of in a bit of a rush. So I sort of did it, and I wasn't happy with it. I thought I knew there was little trains missing, so then went back in and then added that one in, which that one was quite easy to do because I could just spawn it at Coulston South, which was no problem. And I think the next one to come along will be a 1 Romeo service. There it is, just there actually, just trailing behind the other one. And the 1 Romeo service is the Gatwick and Reigate service, so it splits at Redhill, which we didn't actually see in the base timetable. I think, yeah, just because it just wasn't possible. Hey, there we go, they like going past. Nice.
Mind the gap between the train.
She said it, mind the gap. Right, Merstham, we're due out of Merstham. I don't know, I was waiting for like the ring to go around. 1803. So that's now. Right, Coulston South next. So that'll be in about 3-4 minutes. We are off. That's another service I saw the other day. A 1 Romeo service. I was sitting on a 9 Juliet service. And I was very confused because I saw a 12 coach 377 or Southern service on the on here, basically where we are now. And I was thinking, has something happened to the quarry? Are they running down here or something? So I went on National Rail Inquiries, as you do, to look at departures from Redhill, and I couldn't see Gatwick Airport. I could only see Reigate on there. So I was thinking, surely not. Surely they can't be running 12 coaches to Reigate, which would be absurd if they were, because I think the platform is not long enough. Which no, they weren't in the end. It was going to split at Redhill, and I suppose 8 coaches would go to Gatwick, and the other 4 would go to Reigate. But I couldn't see it on National Rail Inquiries, so it was like a secret, hidden service. Through Merstham Tunnel. So this is basically a live test. If this works, I'll upload it basically as soon as this video is recorded, which is on the 11th of July at 9 PM. I'm not too worried about this part of the scenario. It's really the bit a bit further up to see what happens if we get, allowed into East Croydon, where we come across. Hopefully there's no trains waiting up there or stacking up for no odd reason. Alright, that's coming down to 75, doesn't it? So we'll just coast for now. Coasting along. But no, very happy with the release of the 700. It's not perfect, but I'd say it's closer than other trains to perfect. So it's sort of above sort of the average of what what we see, quality wise. But yeah, it's not perfect though. It's not perfect, but then I suppose that there's no train in the game which is perfect, is there? But I'm sure when we see updates over time and bits and bobs added. We're now approaching Coulston South. Probably not a good idea to go above 50 into here. Coulston South, the home of Farthing Valley. Is it Farthing Downs and Happy Valley? As when I say Happy Valley, I think of the TV show Happy Valley, and I'm like, I'm pretty certain that's in Wales, not in. I think it's Wales, not in Coulston. But yeah, this is the Happy Valley. It's the home of it. Which the station signs just say underneath them in a little text. Here we are, and then after this we'll then fast up to East Croydon. But yeah, in timetable mode, these stations do have services. I think the Reigate services stop at Coulston South, Merstham, and even Purley. But yeah, we don't obviously have any Thameslink in at the moment, so it's not a frequent service. Right, we're due out of Coulston South. Let's have a look. Coulston South, 9 past. So we've got about a minute. Let's have a look. What are trains doing? So it looks like we are getting routed onto the up fast, which is correct. So that's good to see. Any other trains coming down, or is that it? Oh no, there is another one coming down. That's good to see. As I said, the spawn points are very limited. I think there's 2 at Vic, 1 at Clapham, and about 2 at East Croydon. And the capacity. I mean, the amount of trains on the BML, even with a slightly reduced timetable, is still just too many to spawn in. So there's a fair few services, but just not all of them due to limitations with the scenario planner. Well, just basically just spawn points. Need more of them. Alright, let's go. We are off. Very, very dark road. Yeah, so we're coming across, Stoats Nest Junction, I believe, which allows us access onto the Upfast, and where they both join back together as well. I can't remember the cross. I think it's relatively fast across here. I'm thinking 60, but I feel like that's a bit too quick, so I'm gonna keep it at 50. I mean, it could even be 40. It could even be lower than that. I mean, it's probably got to be quite a quick one because it's literally crossing the whole main line, apart from the down slow. As the Reigate services that they come across at Selhurst, so they're quite late coming across. They don't come across here. I don't know if there's actually any services which come across here in timetable mode. What is it? What is the speed? 70. Okay, it's quite quick then. A bit of a jolt though, wouldn't it, going across there? I mean, it is quite a bit of a jolt coming across there in real life at 70. I mean, not usually at 70 when you go across it if you've just stopped at Coulston South, though. There we go, now on the up fast, which is nice and fast. Cool. Coming up on Purley, then you've got Purley Oaks, South Croydon, and then East Croydon. Don't know why you've got people standing on the platform there. Same with Norbury. At Norbury, you've got people standing on the fast platforms, and it's like, what are you doing? Station staff, go get them and get them off. It'd be very weird, very suspicious to see someone standing on the fast platforms when no trains stop on the fast platforms. I want to usher them over to the slow area so they can get on their train there. There's Purley Oaks. I got the warning for the 60. Yeah, just about hit 90. Coming down for South Croydon. Which I believe we should see a service which has come down from the Oxted lines here. Don't know what time that's supposed to set off though. If it's too early, then hopefully it's gone. Has it gone? I can't see it. Don't render in any second now. Okay, it's already gone I think. Has it? There's a red there, maybe not. No, it must have gone. And a 60. There's a 387. So it feels fairly lively. Down to 45. And I'm not going to add in sort of random trains. I'll have a look to see if the freight train is at Crawley New Yard still at this time. But yeah, I'm not going to add in sort of random trains just to make it feel busier. As that makes it unrealistic. And I certainly, if I saw there was just random trains placed down willy-nilly, I wouldn't enjoy the scenario as much. I like things being as they are. Yeah, there's the East Grinstead service there. What service up from East Grinstead? So you would be coming on platform 2 here. I think you probably could still come in on platform 1 and still get across. Yeah, you still can come across, but literally all the time they come onto platform 2, and then the southern services that are on platform 1. That's why it just makes an unnecessary crossover of tracks. Whereas the Thameslink all go on 2, they don't intersect with southern. Or not on this sort of bit. There we go. Cool. Wow. That is going to be it, everyone, for today's service. That was a 9 Juliet service. I will publish this to the Creators Club, make a couple of little tiny tweaks, but nothing major. Links can be found in the usual places: Discord, PayPal, merch store. Apart from that, thanks for coming in, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one. So you all take care. Bye, guys.